The next exercise I'm going to demo is called the clean, the kettlebell clean. It is probably one of the most difficult ones I find to teach because you can't slow it down. It needs to be done fairly quickly, and it just oftentimes takes time for people just to practice it enough to get it. This is the movement where I would recommend people get just a 2 pair of sweatbands. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, just enough to put a little protection on your forearms. I actually don't need to use these now because over time, when you get good at it, you can control the bell enough that you don't need them and you won't thump your forearms. But in the beginning, when you're learning, I really recommend having a pair of these. The clean is somewhat similar to a swing, to a single arm swing. You do it with one arm, one hand. And it's also very different. So the clean starts out same as the swing. You have your bell on the floor, you're hiking it behind you, so the hinge and all that is the same. But when you're coming back with your clean, you're turning your hand so that your thumb is going behind you. And with every type of movement, like the swing, the clean, the snatch, which I'll show later on, your hip drive is what's giving you the energy. Your arm is not pulling or trying to muscle the bell up. Everything that's happening is because of your hip drive. So when you hike back, you want to be sure that you're shooting that bell far enough behind you and you're loading your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are like a big elastic band. You're loading your hamstrings enough. You feel a nice pull back there. That's where all of your energy comes from. If you cut your swing short, your back swing short, and you don't shoot back far enough, you're cutting off your energy and it just turns into a lot more work. A lot more work for your arms, your shoulders. That's not where the energy is being generated from. The energy is coming from all from these huge big muscles back here that do all the work. So I'll show you what a clean looks like. The clean is different in that it kind of looks like a single arm swing, but with the clean, your elbow and up here never leaves your body. Think of having a clutch purse jammed underneath your arm and you can't let it drop. Your elbow and this part of your arm stays glued to your body. And that's what prevents the bell from sailing out too far, and then when you try to pull it back in, you end up hitting yourself. So clean looks like, setup's the same as for a single arm swing. Bell's in front, you're hinging down, grab the bell, hike it back. When you hike it back, you're going to rotate your hand so your thumb is coming behind you. As you can see, my elbow did not leave my side. You keep that nice and glued in, and then it's a back swing. Keep that arm nice and glued in, and then it's more of a diagonal pull up the front of your body, and you land it. It's kind of like you're zipping up a coat. Come on up, keep that elbow nice and close, land that elbow on your hip, and insert your hand. And when the bell comes up, it's instead of coming over the top of your hand and thumping your forearm, with this pull, it's going to kind of rotate around the outside of your hand and land gently. It's kind of, like I said, it's one of the more complex movements, and it just honestly takes time and practice, and eventually it'll click. You just need to keep doing it. So in the meantime, have your wristbands to give yourself some cushion, and just, don't stress over it too much. In the workouts that I'll be doing, there will always be options. There'll always be things that you can switch out. So, clean. Hike it back, turn your thumb, come on out, keep that elbow nice and glued, diagonal pull like you're zipping up a coat, and land it. Biggest mistake people make is they tend to let that arm sail out away from them, like the wooden single arm swing. They go out really far, and then all of a sudden, oh no, now I got to pull this bell into me. So they do that, they go out, and then they come in, and they end up slamming themselves with the bell. So the biggest point I can give you is keep that arm glued to your side the whole time when you're doing swings. When you're doing cleans, sorry. Back swing. A few more. So from the side. When it lands in rack position. It comes around the handle's running diagonally, so you're already in rack. Kettlebell clean.